How do I, 31 female, stop being so jealous regarding my husband's, 34 male, new friend? I love my husband. We have been together 9 years, married for 6, and have been through a lot together. He has never given me a single reason to think he would stray from our relationship physically or emotionally. He is an amazing father and very equally shares the household load. We have our ups and downs like most people, but generally we are solid and always come back to each other after a disagreement. Now to the issue. He recently embarked on his master's degree. He is one of only 2 men in his cohort of approximate 80 people, and the only guy of our culture. We are in our home country. The course and university is just incredibly multicultural. As such, he has made a lot of new female friends, most of whom don't bother me at all. But there's this one, 30 female I think, that I just don't like his friendship with, and I know I'm being unreasonable. They text all the time, like multiple times a day. Mind you, he isn't secretive about this. He doesn't hide his phone or anything like that. I can see her name at the top of his screen. He also talks about her all the time. How nice she is, and all the cool things she's done. He also spends a lot of time with her. They have just decided to collaborate on a research project together for a conference in 2026, and as such they will likely be spending even more time together. Frankly, I'm sick of hearing about how nice and amazing this other woman is. She's also annoyed the hell out of him at times, blowing like hot and cold at him when she has perceived he has done something wrong, though it's probably cultural differences that trigger this, and he'll talk about this too. It's like watching someone discuss the beginnings of a relationship, the euphoria of dating someone new, plus all the baggage they come with as they work through it, which is a weird thing to watch your husband go through. I don't believe it's anything more than I have described above. When I said I didn't think it was appropriate for him to be messaging her as frequently as he is, and if the shoe was on the other foot, does he really think he would be okay with me messaging a man as frequently? And he offered to let me read all their messages, which I didn't, so I really don't think he's hiding anything. I obviously don't want him to start being secretive about it, so I've said I'll drop it. But I just feel annoyed and jealous like every time I see her name pop up on his phone. I don't even think he's physically attracted to her. We have a great sex life, and this is not something I feel insecure about. I guess she's shiny and new and interesting, and they have a lot in common. I think I'm insecure about not being interesting enough for him, and maybe sometimes feel like he'd rather talk to her than me. I'm not used to him having female friends, though he used to have many when he was younger, and I'm finding this new dynamic really difficult. Any advice as to how I can just get over it and accept this new friendship as it is? I too would be jealous if this was my husband. I would say talk to him about it. How would he feel if it was the other way around? There shouldn't be a valid excuse for them texting multiple times a day, or even him sharing contact info with her. There's something called an email. If you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason. Sounds like she's playing the game, and either your husband's oblivious or likes the attention. An idea is just to say it looks like she's like him and working him over. Don't accuse him, just make the observation and see whether he agrees or not. If he doesn't, put the shoe on the other foot, e.g. guy doing the same thing with you at uni, and see what he says. You want Reddit to give you tips so you can ignore the fact that your husband is having an emotional affair? I would make myself a shiny new male friend to see how he feels about the shoe on the other foot. Plus we could always do with more friends, and who knows, if he does eventually cheat, then you will already have an option waiting. Gut instincts are usually right in my opinion, and I would start making plans just in case, but hopefully things will be fine and you won't need to follow through with them. It's healthy for you to interrogate your jealousy instead of automatically accusing him of cheating. The level-headed approach is to continue to check in with yourself and your feelings as his friendship with her develops. It's also a good idea to have occasional maintenance conversations with your husband to ensure you're both continuing to respect the boundaries of your relationship. Ultimately, if your husband is capable of maintaining a respectful friendship with a woman, this bodes well for the continued health of your relationship and his ability to appreciate the foundational friendship your marriage should be built on. You don't think he is physically attracted to her because she is less than you? Is she in a relationship? Kids, if he is offering you his phone, take it whenever you feel the need sporadically. You won't feel like snooping cause he already gave you permission. Hope that way eases your anxiety. My girlfriend, 26F, told me, 28M, she feels nothing when we are intimate. Hey guys, the other night my girlfriend told me she feels nothing when we have sex and she gets super emotional and says she could go the rest of her life without having sex. She went as far as saying she feels like she could just cry while we're being intimate. She told me she loves me so much, but she just can't shake this feeling she's been having. I love her so much, and I will be by her side no matter what. But she's scared because sex is such an important part of a relationship, and fears that I will leave her eventually. For context, we live together, and have been together for 2+ years at this point. We have 2 cats and a home. She loves me very much, I don't doubt this, and I love her very much. We've had sex twice in the last month and a half, and both times she seemed very uncomfortable, and finally she told me the other night she feels nothing during our intimacy. I'm crushed, I love her so much and felt so awful afterwards once she told me, like literally sick to my stomach. I recommended sex therapists, but I feel crazy about that because we're so young and so early into our relationship. Basically, I am curious if anyone else has been through this, and if you have, any advice on how to get past this? We had a very healthy sex life before this. All of a sudden she started feeling this way. Thanks, guys. Does she have past sexual trauma, or could she just be asexual? Nothing physically, or nothing emotionally. My partner and I have both gone through periods like this. Together 4 years 1/2, and there have been multiple month periods of low libido on both of our parts. In my boyfriend's case, he's mostly asexual. Happy to do things, but doesn't always need to take care of himself. I let him come to me if he wants. It's not a deal breaker unless you decide it is. I felt very upset at the thought that he didn't see me as hot enough to have sex with for a while. It took a lot of understanding to realize that wasn't the case. My libido was a lot higher, and now I feel we've finally evened out. Has she ever liked sex? With other people? Any antidepressants or anything? Are you making sex good for her? Are you going down on her to completion? Try taking a shower once in a while. I'm kidding. Bro, why you feel crazy about seeking a therapist? That's what they are for. Being too young is bull crap. If you had an hernia, would you say that you're too young for a physiotherapist and wait until you are paraplegic? Drop the ego MF. Is she asexual perhaps? Not experiencing sexual attraction is an actual thing. M25, cheated on my girlfriend, M26, and it how to move forward. My girlfriend, F26, typo in the title, and I have been dating since end of college senior year. About a month ago now I went out with some friends while my girlfriend was out of town and got way too drunk/high and ended up hooking up with one of them. We didn't have sex, it didn't go further than making out before we passed out in her bed. And to be straight, I don't really remember how it even happened in the first place. Lots of it is really blurry. I don't have any history with this friend and never had any feelings for her. We always got along really well, and in hindsight probably got too close at times, but that's sort of beside the point here. My girlfriend flew back the next day, and I told her right away when I saw her later that night. We've obviously talked a lot since, and are trying to work through it. She's been insanely forgiving and patient with me, though that's not to say she ain't pissed OFC. But we both also had our own separate issues prior to my cheating. Nothing that I think was impossible to move past, but things that were definitely going to take intentional effort and work to see if we could make it last for the long haul, you know? Anyway, I want us to make it work, but manage how to juggle working on repairing the trust one lost, working on the pre-existing issues we had, and also figuring out my own shit, cause I clearly ain't the dude I thought I was. Thought I was a better man, but I really screwed up. The shame has been intense like nothing I've felt before. I've never done anything like that ever before. Has anyone been in a similar situation? Maybe not specifically this, but where you felt like you just had so many things to work on you wonder if it's almost nicer to your partner to just try and move on? It's tough cause I love her like crazy and want to make it all work, I just don't know how to bounce back. Appreciate any advice. I won't read and contribute much, but I will instantly tell you to stay away from blaming alcohol/getting wasted for it. First thing you do is accountability and realize that it's your fault and not alcohol's or whatever. Good luck with that, my man. Get into therapy. It can help you work through stuff that's going on in your own life. We always got along really well, and in hindsight probably got too close at times, but that's sort of beside the point here. This isn't beside the point? That's very on point. You shouldn't be getting too close at all with someone who isn't your partner. It only sounds like you've been pushing boundaries on what's cheating or not for a while, and you need to cut off that girl. Drinking, too, for now, unless you're specifically with your girlfriend. Also, as everyone else has suggested, therapy. There are options for everyone if you look. You're very lucky to have such a forgiving girlfriend. Cheating ends most relationships, as it should. Do not fail her again. If you love someone like crazy, you don't let this happen. We always got along really well, and in hindsight probably got too close at times, but that's sort of beside the point here. You also obviously do not cheat. It sounds like you need to work on yourself. Whether you think you should be in a relationship while you do that is up to you. Personally, I don't think you should be in this specific relationship. You broke major trust. Sounds like there are some other significant issues already, and you have other personal issues to work on. Be honest and tell the truth and accept consequences, and get into therapy to look into why you did this. I've been in a somewhat similar situation, except I was the one who got cheated on. We tried to work it out, but I just couldn't help but think about it. After that incident, we tried to work it out for 1 year, except that year ended up in arguments and unnecessary crying. Leave it up to her. On the other hand, you try to make yourself better in every way possible. Bring her flowers randomly, take her on random dates, get her things she always wanted. Basically be the dream guy every girl is dying for. Remember, don't expect her to forgive you even after all this, because it's difficult for one to trust someone after this kind of situation. All I'd say is, I hope she forgives you. And I also hope you be a better person, even if things don't stay the same between y'all, God forbid. My girlfriend, 20F, is texting a guy from the club, 22M, be worried? I'm a 22/M, and my partner 20/F have been dating for 3 years. Recently we've been going out on weekends for clubbing and socializing. Last week we hanged out with a group, and my girlfriend and a guy 25/M were talking. I didn't think much of it. Then I found out they got each other on Instagram, and they've been texting after that day. She told me that they're texting. I thought it was weird a little, but I still didn't think anything about it. Today, after 2 weeks since they met, we happened to mention it. And I asked what were they texting about anyway, and she said I can check if I want. I didn't want to at first, but I got curious. Then she started being weird about me checking, and kinda trying to avoid that. I told her I'd like to check just out of curiosity, not that I'm suspicious or anything. I found out she'd been initiating talks, and they had long conversations. She did tell him in the massages that she has a boyfriend, and he acted like he doesn't know. And she did invite him to go out again with her friend when I wasn't there, but they canceled, and she didn't tell me she invited him. I honestly don't suspect anything about her. I know she won't harm me by any means. But that behavior just kinda throw me off a little. It's like she's entertaining it. What do you guys think? Edit. Forgot to mention we've been together for 3 years, and we just got out of our first break 2 months ago. Also, it's the first time I see guys on her DMS or on her private account. She's already trying to hang out with him behind your back and gets defensive when you called her bluff to see her phone. Put 2 plus 2 together, man. She is looking for her next option. Do you honestly think she's texting him to be cool? Friends? Or do you think they're about to fuck? Be real, man. No reason to be worried. Relationship is already over. 2 words for you, my guy. Monkey branching. I think it's pretty bad that she planned to go out with that dude again and didn't tell you. You thinking she won't harm you by any means sounds naive to me. It already started. 'Cause you're worried at least. Don't let her disrespect you. See what's happening. Yeah, people can have friends and make new ones. But they don't do it behind their partner's back normally. Something is not right here.